Hello everyone, Dr. Liu here. Did you know that nearly half of all students scored 0 marks on this exact VCE projectile motion question, and many more lost easy marks just by using a ruler to connect data points? In this video, we will look at the exact physics and graphing conventions the examiners are looking for so you can secure top marks. Students use a catapult to investigate projectile motion. In their first experiment, a ball of mass 0.10 kilograms is fired from the catapult at an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal. Ignore air resistance. In this first experiment, the ball leaves the catapult at ground level with a speed of 20 ms/1. However, instead of reaching the ground, the ball strikes a wall 26 m from the launching point, as shown in Figure 8a. Figure 8b shows an enlarged view of the catapult. The physics of projectile motion. A projectile launched by a catapult represents a classic case of two-dimensional motion under constant gravity. If air resistance is ignored, this complex trajectory can be broken down into two independent, simultaneous one-dimensional motions. Horizontal motion, x axis a constant velocity motion, as no horizontal forces are acting on the projectile, x equals 0. Vertical motion, y axis a constant acceleration motion, driven entirely by the uniform acceleration of gravity, a equals g. The golden rule, both the horizontal and vertical components are linked by a single, shared variable, time, t. Step-by-step resolution strategy. To determine the vertical height of a projectile at a specific point in its flight, follow this logical sequence. Step 1. Find time via the horizontal component. Because the horizontal velocity, ux, remains constant throughout the flight, you can easily calculate the time of flight, t, using the linear motion formula. Step 2. Bridge to the vertical component. Since the horizontal and vertical motions occur simultaneously, the time calculated in Step 1 is exactly equal to the time the object spends moving vertically. Step 3. Calculate height via vertical displacement. Substitute this shared time, t, into the constant acceleration equation for the vertical axis to solve for the final height, psi. By isolating time from the horizontal data first, you unlock the key to solving the vertical position. This question requires us to classify the physical parameters of the projectile experiment into controlled, dependent, and independent variables. In scientific investigations, variables must be strictly controlled and classified to establish a valid cause and effect relationship. Independent variable, the variable that is deliberately manipulated or changed by the experimenter, the cause. Dependent variable, the variable that is measured or observed to see how it responds to changes in the independent variable, the effect. Controlled variable, potential confounding factors that must be kept constant throughout the experiment to ensure a fair and valid test. Logical breakdown of the problem. Based on the prompt's description, the students next investigate the relationship between various initial variables and range, as they use a 0.10 kilograms ball and keep the catapult at a fixed angle of 30 degrees. 1. Identifying the dependent variable. Logic. The explicit goal of the experiment is to investigate impacts on the range. All measurements and final data points rely on where the ball lands. Conclusion. Range, R. 2. Identifying the controlled variables. Logic. The prompt uses explicit constraints such as use a specific mass and keep at a fixed angle. These parameters are intentionally held constant across all trials. Conclusion. Mass of the ball or firing angle, either is acceptable. 3. Deducing the independent variable. Logic. In projectile motion, the horizontal range is determined by three main initial parameters: launch angle, projectile mass, and initial launch velocity. Since the angle and mass are explicitly fixed, controlled, the only remaining initial variable that the students can actively vary to see its effect on the range is the launch speed. Conclusion: launch velocity or initial speed. The students gather the following data from a series of experiments similar to the one described in Part B. The students use a tape measure that is marked with intervals of 10 centimeters to measure the range that the ball travels at different initial speeds. On the grid provided below, graph the data gathered by the students from the table on page 24. Include scales and units on each axis. Insert appropriate uncertainty bars for the range, distance, on the graph. Draw a smooth curve of best fit. 8 marks. (1) Grid specifications and axis selection. An effective graph begins with properly mapped data points that maximize the use of the provided grid area. Horizontal axis, x-axis independent variable is initial speed, u/ms1. Scale: the grid has 12 major divisions horizontally. Mapping one major division equals 0.5 ms1 spreads the data, 0.0 to 5.0, across 10 major blocks perfectly. Vertical axis, y-axis dependent variable is range, rm. Scale: the grid has 20 vertical subdivisions. Mapping 10 subdivisions equals 1.0 m, meaning one small block equals 0.1 m, spreads the maximum range value, 2.15 m, efficiently across the grid. 2. Quantifying measurement uncertainty. A crucial element of VCE scientific inquiry is translating experimental constraints into visual error margins. The prompt state: the students use a tape measure that is marked with intervals of 10 cm 0.1 m. Determining uncertainty. The absolute uncertainty for a measuring tool marked at regular intervals is typically plus and minus half of the smallest graduation. Drawing uncertainty bars. On the vertical scale, where one small grid square equals 0.1 m, each vertical error bar must extend exactly half a grid square up and half a grid square down from the center of each plotted data point. 3. Curve of best fit, theoretical trend. The relationship between a projectile's launch velocity and its horizontal range on level ground is governed by the range equation. Because r is proportional to the square of u, the points follow a quadratic or parabolic trend, starting at the origin. Execution: a smooth, upwardly curving line must be drawn passing through the uncertainty margins of all data points. 4. Key performance insights from the examiner's report. Despite an average score of 6.5 out of 8, with 43% of students earning full marks, specific preventable errors frequently cost students top marks. Omission of units. Many students labeled the axes with names, R and U, but failed to write the corresponding units, M and MS1. Incorrect uncertainty bars. Common mistakes included completely omitting error bars, calculating the magnitude incorrectly, or drawing asymmetric bars. Ruling straight lines. A notable number of students used a ruler to connect the dots linearly or forced a single straight line of best fit through nonlinear data. Swapping axes. Some students erroneously placed initial speed on the y-axis and range on the x-axis, ignoring the explicit labels already provided at the arrowheads of the blank grid. This underscores the need for students to reliably link independent variables to the horizontal axis. The physics of projectile motion. Motion splits into two independent parts: horizontal at constant velocity, x equals 0, and vertical at constant acceleration, a equals g. Time t is the shared link. Solve the horizontal direction first, then carry t into the vertical equation. On level ground, range follows a proportionality u2, a quadratic curve through the origin. Exam tips from the examiner's report. Label axes with units, m and ms1, not just names. Draw uncertainty bars correctly, plus or minus half the smallest graduation, symmetric about each point. Use a smooth curve of best fit for non-linear data, never rule straight lines between points. Keep the independent variable, speed, on the x-axis and range on the y-axis. If you need my help, you can add me on WeChat or WhatsApp, or send me an email. Thanks for your attention. Please note Dr. Liu's VCE Physics channel, Dr. Liu's VCE Chemistry channel, and Dr. Liu's VCE Biology channel.